Look closely at the fleet carriers that sailed across the Atlantic, and you will discover a truth that every king, every warrior, and every dreamer must one day learn. No fleet ever conquered the sea because one man believed he was greater than the rest. A carrier was not a monument to individual glory. It was a kingdom floating upon restless waters, where every soul carried a responsibility that could decide the fate of thousands. The commander standing upon the bridge could issue every order with perfect wisdom, but if the mechanic below deck neglected a single engine, if the signal officer delayed one message, if the lookout failed to spot danger on the horizon, then even the mightiest warship could become nothing more than drifting steel. This is the law of every great kingdom. Strength is never measured by the greatness of one, but by the faithfulness of all. King Arthur did not build Camelot by searching for the loudest voice or the strongest sword. He gathered knights who understood that loyalty is more powerful than pride, and that discipline is greater than talent. A sword in careless hands can destroy an army, but an ordinary blade guided by discipline can defend an entire kingdom. The fleet carriers of the Second World War proved this lesson upon the unforgiving Atlantic. Every sailor knew that his duty, no matter how small it appeared, was connected to the lives of everyone around him. They did not wake each morning asking, "Will anyone notice my work?" They asked a far greater question, "Will my work protect those who depend upon me?" That single difference transformed ordinary men into an extraordinary force. Too many people spend their lives chasing recognition while neglecting responsibility. They dream of standing upon the highest throne, yet refuse to master the smallest task before them. But history has never been written by those who demanded greatness before earning it. The greatest victories have always belonged to those who treated every simple duty as though the future of the kingdom rested upon it. Every aircraft that launched safely from a carrier deck carried with it the unseen labor of hundreds of disciplined hands. The pilot might receive the applause, but the victory belonged to every person who prepared that moment long before the engines ever roared to life. Remember this whenever life places you in a position that seems ordinary. Never believe that your effort is too small to matter. The castle is not held together by its tallest tower alone. It stands because every stone remains faithful to its place. The strongest chain is not judged by its brightest link, but by the strength of every link joined together. In the same way, your character is revealed not by the moments when the world is watching, but by the quiet hours when no applause can be heard and no reward is promised. The Atlantic Ocean rewarded neither arrogance nor shortcuts. It honored preparation, it honored precision, it honored discipline. Storms did not ask whether a sailor was famous, and enemy submarines cared nothing for medals or titles. They exposed only one truth. Had the crew prepared well enough to meet the challenge before them? Life asks the very same question of each one of us. It does not ask how many dreams we have spoken about. It asks how faithfully we have prepared for the moment when those dreams are tested. So train your mind as faithfully as those sailors maintained their ships. Guard your habits as carefully as they guarded every aircraft upon the flight deck. Let your words be trustworthy, your actions consistent, and your commitment unshakable. For a true king is not crowned on the day of victory. He is crowned through countless days of discipline when no one is watching. And when the storm finally rises over your own Atlantic, you will not stand because luck has favored you. You will stand because discipline has already prepared you for the battle, long before the first wave ever struck. Now behold the greatest trial that every fleet carrier faced. Not the crashing waves, nor the freezing winds, nor even the enemy hidden beyond the horizon. The greatest trial was uncertainty. Every dawn arrived with questions that no commander could answer. Would enemy submarines already be waiting beneath the dark waters? Would hostile aircraft suddenly emerge from the clouds? Would the sea itself become a greater enemy than the opposing fleet? No one aboard those mighty carriers possessed the gift of seeing tomorrow. Yet the engines still roared to life, the flight decks were cleared, and the aircraft still launched into skies filled with unknown danger. That is the mark of true courage. It is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear become the captain of your destiny. King Arthur often sent his knights beyond the borders of Camelot into lands no map could fully describe. They rode through forests where every shadow could conceal an enemy, and crossed valleys where no promise of victory awaited them. They did not move because the road was safe. They moved because their purpose was greater than their fear. The fleet carriers of the Atlantic carried that same spirit. Every mission demanded faith before certainty. Every sailor understood that waiting for perfect conditions would only give the enemy more time to grow stronger. They chose action over hesitation, purpose over comfort, and courage over excuses. How many dreams have been buried, not because people lacked talent, but because they demanded guarantees before taking the first step? How many kingdoms have remained only in imagination, because their future rulers feared failure more than they desired greatness? The Atlantic teaches a lesson that echoes through every generation. No one commands the ocean by standing safely upon the shore. The waves reward those who dare to sail, not those who spend their lives calculating every possible storm. There were countless moments when thick fog covered the sea so completely that sailors could barely see beyond the bow of their own ship. The horizon vanished, the destination disappeared, yet the fleet did not abandon its mission. They trusted their instruments, relied upon their training, and continued forward 1 mile at a time. Life often places us in the same fog. There will be seasons when you cannot see how your sacrifices will be rewarded. You will not know whether today's effort will produce tomorrow's victory. Your future may appear hidden behind clouds of uncertainty. But remember this, a hidden destination is not a lost destination. The path still exists, even when your eyes cannot yet discover it. Every pilot who climbed into the cockpit understood that he might never return, yet he climbed anyway, not because he believed he was invincible, but because he believed the mission was greater than his own comfort. That is the difference between ordinary people and legendary ones. Ordinary people ask, "What if I fail?" Legends ask, "What if I never try?" One question builds prisons. The other builds history. Fear has defeated more people than any enemy ever could. It whispers that the timing is wrong, that the challenge is too great, that someone else is more capable. But fear has never built a kingdom, discovered a new horizon, or won a decisive battle. Fear only guards the gates of missed opportunity. Every hero who has ever lived walked directly through those gates, carrying faith where certainty could not be found. The Atlantic itself became a living reminder that strength is revealed only after the storm begins. Calm seas create comfortable sailors, but they do not create great commanders. Violent waves tested every decision, every crew, and every ounce of resolve aboard those carriers. In the same way, life's greatest storms are not sent merely to challenge you. They are sent to reveal the leader hidden within you. Gold does not fear the furnace because the fire only proves its value. Steel does not fear the hammer because every strike makes it stronger. And a courageous soul does not fear uncertainty because every step taken through the unknown transforms. doubt into wisdom, and hesitation into unshakable confidence. So when your own Atlantic stretches before you vast, unpredictable, and filled with unseen dangers, do not wait until every cloud disappears. Do not delay until every answer has been revealed. Raise your eyes beyond the storm, steady your heart, and move forward with unwavering purpose. For destiny has never belonged to those who waited for certainty. It has always belonged to those brave enough to sail into the unknown, trusting that courage, guided by purpose, would carry them farther than fear ever could. And so, when the echoes of the Atlantic finally fade, and the mighty fleet carriers disappear beyond history's horizon, one truth remains stronger than steel and deeper than the ocean itself. Greatness has never belonged to those who sought the safest harbor. It has always belonged to those who prepared with discipline, stood together in loyalty, and sailed forward with courage even when the destination was hidden by storm. The sea tested every ship, every commander, and every sailor. Life will test you in exactly the same way. There will be moments when fear whispers that you are not ready, when failure seems closer than victory, and when the waves around you appear too powerful to overcome. In those moments, remember the spirit of the great fleets that crossed the Atlantic. They did not conquer because the journey was easy. They conquered because they refused to let uncertainty break their resolve. Carry yourself as a true knight of your own kingdom. Let discipline become your armor, integrity your shield, wisdom your compass, and courage your sword. Build trust before you seek power. Master yourself before you attempt to lead others. Face every storm with the confidence that each challenge is shaping you into someone stronger than yesterday. One day, when others look upon your journey, they should not remember how calm your seas were. They should remember that when the darkest clouds gathered and the fiercest waves rose against you, you neither turned back nor surrendered. You held your course, honored your purpose, and proved that the greatest victories are won not by those who fear the storm, but by those who choose to sail through it with the heart of a king.